All righty, guys. Just one of those days, getting started late. Anyway, welcome to the show. We are live, and I have background noise in the back, so never mind that. It's all right. Anyway, welcome to the Eye of the Hurricanes. I'm your host, Kyle Howard. Josh Brinson will be in soon. And anyway, we'll get to the administrative part first. Artisan Tropic, who is one of our sponsors, go to their website. You can order online, or you can go to a store, Whole Foods, Lowe's Foods, and go in there and get you a bag of chips, or strips rather, and enjoy. In the stores, they have the cassava strips, sea salt, and the plantain strip sea salt. They also have. What's going on, Josh?
What's going on, man?
Yep. That's the back of the house. What's going on, Robert?
What's going on, Robert?
You can also go online. You can order Artisan Tropic strips, the plantain sweet, plantain sea salt, cassava strip sea salt, and at checkout, you can enter all capital letters, Hurricane 25, get 25% off of your entire order. Good way to save money. You're buying in bulk there, and you're saving some money at the same time there as well. Also, Around the Arena, DC.com. The DC is as in discount card. Go there, order your discount card. They're $19.95 for a limited time. Great deal if you think about it. You're paying for all of the people who are participating in that, and you're paying for the actual making of the card and the shipping of the card. And as well, some of that money goes to the people who put on the website and who do all the work to get that done. So anyway, we're up to date on all the games up to Saturday night. We also have some other things to talk about. So, Josh, if you want to go into that, excuse my voice. I am hoarse, and I'm still have some mucus issues with COVID that I had. I don't have COVID anymore. It's just I have a lot of mucus issues since then. So that's why I sound a little hoarse, because hollering and screaming at the game, well, not screaming, but the hollering and cheering at the game, and also with the mucus issues, I had a slight voice differential there as well. So
if anybody who's been following along knows that Jack Drew had thumb surgery, and he has been placed on injured reserve. They don't think he's going to be back like today, tomorrow, next week, the week after. Also, we found out that Shane Gostisbehere is not going to be with us for a little while either, and they have recalled, I believe it's Riley Smith from the Chicago Wolves to defenseman. So we are currently down a couple of people. I'm hoping that Kotkaniemi steps up with his faceoffs. I haven't looked at it recently, but prior to one of the last shows that we did, Drury actually was the best faceoff player on the team at that point. I need to go back and look at some data to see if he was still trending that way. Obviously, with him out, Kotkaniemi, Stahl, Aho, and Joust are probably going to be the force. As far as defensemen go, I don't know a lot about Riley Smith. From what I understand, he's pretty good. I know a little bit about the Chicago Wolves, and if you guys will bear with me 1 minute while I pull this up, I do have an update on the Chicago Wolves for any of you that haven't been following along. So the Chicago Wolves started out absolutely abysmal in the Central Division in the AHL and have gone from last. They are now 15-10 overall with 2 overtime losses. and have 32 points, and they're third in their division. 32 points there, 1 point behind the Texas Stars, and we are only 7 points behind the number one team in the Central Division, the Grand Rapids Griffins. Now, what does that mean? Those players who are scattered all over last year, who did not play together, I think have finally started to get this thing figured out. What does that mean for the rest of them? It means that our AHL prospects, by the way, Bradley Nadeau with Team Canada in the juniors, wow, was starting on the first line with Team Canada.
What's going on, Josh?
Think about that minute. Bradley Nadeau, an AHL player for us, was starting on the first line with Team Canada. And he had 2 assists, and he's playing well. That says a lot. Although they did lose to Serbia the other night, that's pretty big for Bradley Nadeau. Also, and I want to get this guy's name right. I always mess it up. Felix Ungersorum. I think I'm
Ungersorum.
going on Josh Quinn. Has also been playing respectfully as well for the team that he's been with. And he's been running, I believe, on the second line with the national team that he's been playing with. Yeah. So we've got some prospects that are playing really well, not just in the AHL, but when it comes to what we're doing with World Championships and that kind of thing. As you can see, Kyle's rocking his Canes hat. I'm rocking a Stormy hat and rocking a Canes shirt. Take warning. Canes logo, NHL stuff I got for Christmas.
I'm just rocking my red T-shirt and my
okay
black.
All right.
Black, red, white, and gray striped shorts here.
All right, but
all colors.
Wolves have come a long way, and there's still a lot of season to play. And they're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a minute for a team that was dead last.
Yeah,
very impressive. The one thing that I also am impressed about them, they have the least amount of penalty minutes in their division.
Wow,
as a team. So that's some more good content. Yeah. Aside from that, I do have some injury concerns, like we talked about earlier, with Gostafir and Drury being out. Kind of hoping that Riley Smith, who's called Wolves, can play well for us. Mm-hmm. Man, I got to say this, and this is me speaking. This isn't even Kyle. I believe that our AHL talent,
what's going on, Ben,
is easily top 7 in the league.
Yeah,
what we have.
I
can't remember the name of the player that Kyle brought to my attention. You might remember. He was playing in the QMHL a while back, and he was just tearing it up.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
I can't remember the name of the player, but, man, we got another player in another league who's not even playing it. And, I mean, this kid was tearing it up.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't translate always to the AHL or the NHL, but, man, he was tearing it up in his own league.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, the game, against the Devils, I thought we did well. Mm-hmm. I liked our resolve. Yeah. I liked the fact we were, resilient.
I like the physicality.
That dude wasn't mess with Orlov.
That's something that if any of you listen to Adam go, hi Sandra, how are you doing? I saw Sunday night as he was leaving the arena. I was standing out. We actually parked over near where the team family parks. I actually pulled into that parking area, and I saw the sign there whenever we were pulling. I was like, oh crap, we got to get out of here. This is for family and friends of the players. So we had to back out. But then Chatfield comes driving out in his pickup truck. I was really hoping he would stop, and he didn't. But that's all cool. It's all great. Because I was going to, if he did stop, I was going to mention you to him, Sandra. So,
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. I'm sorry. I was corrected by my producer there. Come here, Ellie. Yeah, come here. You don't have to be on camera. Just come here, please. So, it's because of my wife who bought the tickets for my birthday to go to that game Saturday night that I not only met Trip Tracy, Hannah Yates, and Shane Willis, but I also met Eric. Eric, yeah, I met the general manager,
Yeah,
and I posted the video. Hey, yay, wife!
that's what Joshua Quinn said in the comments.
Ellie bought the tickets for my birthday. Hey, Sandra. And so I met Eric Tulsky, and I actually posted a video I went live with him, and he was gracious enough to do it. We went down, he was standing there talking to Hannah, and we walked up. We had actually gone up there and gotten some pictures with Hannah and Shane and turned around and walked off. And we were doing something. I can't even remember what we were doing. Anyway, I told Ellie, I said, let's turn around and go back because they're going to be going live for the beginning of before the game. I said, let's go back and we'll be on TV. So we come up right where the camera is facing back towards them.
Yeah.
And we were standing there, and I happened to look over, and I see this guy standing there, and he's talking to Hannah. And I look, and I'm like, I didn't see his face. I just saw his hair, his curly hair. And I was like, Ellie, that's Eric Tulsky. That's the general manager. Let's go get a picture with him. All right. And so we walked around, and when we got there, he was still talking to Hannah. So I waited, didn't interrupt. And he turns around, and as he turns around, I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm doing great. And I said, would you mind getting a picture with me? He's like, oh, no, great. Yeah, let's do it. So, and while we were getting the picture, Ellie took a picture of me and him together. And I said, would you mind doing a short video with me? And he's like, okay, yeah, great. And so I got in the group. And as I was pulling the group up, he looks at my phone, and he saw the group name and everything. So I know he did because he was looking right at my phone. And I went live, and we did the video. And if you haven't seen it, go to the group after the show and watch them because I got it. And then after we got done, nobody messed with him. Nobody harassed him or anything like that. But hey, nobody ganged on him and said, hey, I want pictures. It was me that did that. And he graciously did that, and graciously enough did the video. And then when we turned around, we were going back to our seats. Another fan stopped him right after he saw that I got pictures with him. He got pictures with him. And then he just turned around and walked off. He had a guest with him. I don't know who the kid was. Looked like he was about a big 16, 17-year-old. He was a big kid.
Hockey player.
Possibly even younger than that. But a big 14 to 16-year-old, I would say. Maybe 17. But anyway, as we're walking back, we're walking around to go up to our seats. And I'm making another video. Hey, I just talked to Eric Tulsky, and I think I'm on live there too. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know he was walking like 6-8 feet away from us, not even that far away. And I look over, I'm like, holy crap. I was like, oh yeah, by the way, he's walking right here. And he kind of, whenever I turned the camera and turned the phone, he kind of grinned. It was so funny. He kind of grinned and he just walked. It was funny. It was awesome. It was there's no probably about it. That was the best birthday gift and the best birthday that I've had probably my entire life. So kudos to Ellie for getting those tickets. I mean, it was awesome. I enjoyed it. And, yeah, really. And so now for my birthday present or for my Christmas present, she bought us tickets to go to the alumni game. And so we're going to go to that. But we got pictures and autographs from Brent Burns, who has a new truck. Not going to say what kind it is, but he has a new truck. And um, Jacob Slavin. He stopped. I got a picture and the autograph from him, and Ellie does too. Her hat brim up here is full of autographs, 5 of them. We got Brent Burns, Jacob Slavin, Jackson Blake, Jost, and Ty Smith. We got their autographs, and so yeah, it was a great night. And then on the way home, we saw a Dodge Charger coming off of I-40 going towards Garner. Looked like Santa Claus's new sleigh. He had lights all over it. Like it was covered in Christmas lights, like a Christmas tree. Ben, she is the best, Ben. I tell you, she's an awesome wife, really awesome. But I just wanted to share that with you. It was awesome. It was fun.
That's fantastic.
I didn't get many. I got more video than I did pictures. My mom loves Jackson Blake. Yeah, it was awesome, man. We got pictures. And then I got a picture of Roslovic coming out of the gate. I didn't realize it was him until later. After I got home, I blew the picture. I was like, holy crap, that's Roslovic in that freaking truck. But he didn't stop either. And I get it, man. You're spent after a game.
You are.
I get it. If they don't stop, hey, go home. And it looked like Jalen. I looked at the truck and I looked there, and it looked like he had his fiance with him. And I don't know if, and it may have been just a shadow or something. I don't know, but it looked like there was his fiance or wife was in the truck with him when they were leaving out. And then Jordan Stahl come out not long after that, and they got similar trucks, so it's kind of hard to tell in the dark who's who coming out of there when they have similar trucks. And then Aho comes by, and then Jarvis comes out after him. And but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun. It was a fun night. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to get to the All-Star or the All-Star game, to the alumni game. That'll be fun too. Hopefully we'll be able to get autographs there. If so, I have a Sebastian Aho card. I have two Shezhnikov cards. I have a Brent Burns card and a Rod Brindamar card. If I'd have been thinking, I would have I'd have took all the cards with me, and I could have gotten my Brent Burns card signed, but I didn't. And I regret that now, thinking back on. I wished I'd have remembered that. But when we go to the alumni game, I'm definitely carrying my Rod Brindamar card with me, so hopefully I can get an autograph from him. Drew, the wedding is in July. Oh, okay.
All right.
Awesome. So they're getting married in July. Awesome.
After hockey season.
Yeah, definitely. Best time to get married anyway is in the summer. But so anyway, we go to the game. We get up there to our seats. We're watching the game. First period was kind of flat. I mean, it wasn't flat as far as play, because they played pretty well. I mean, Carolina came out strong, and they had a good showing, and they had a good game. I mean, that first period was really good, and then Jersey scored, and I was like, oh my gosh. And second period, I was sitting there, I was talking to some people around me. And I said, excuse me, hold on. I said, Carolina needs a good second period. I said, the last few games, their second period has not been a strong point for them. They really need a good, strong second period. They came out and tied the game, and then they come back in the third period and they scored another goal. And then we come up and scored again, and then it was just no looking back. It was just a total washout from there. And then we had, oh my goodness gracious, I got to get a new tablet, guys. If somebody wants to buy me one, I'm joking. It would be nice though, but
Hey, maybe we need a tablet sponsor.
yeah, we do. Lenovo would be great.
That would be awesome.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe I should contact them and say, "Hey, you sponsor the set. You want to sponsor us and get us some Lenovo tablets?"
I mean, I'm just you can do it.
So Dmitry Orlov, we'll go ahead and go into. Okay, so Dmitry Orlov scores the first goal in the first period or in the second period. Nobody scored a goal in the first period. It was all in the second period. And late in the second period. Then the third period rolls around and Palat scores a goal for Jersey. Then Aho comes back, scores a goal, assisted from Roslovic. Then Jackson Blake comes up with an assist from Brent Burns and Kokanyemi and scores a goal. Kokanyemi, by the way, had almost had 2 goals in that game, just got robbed. And then Jack Roslovic comes back and Jarvis and Walker assist him on this goal. And then Roslovic comes back with the empty net, assisted by Jarvis and Aho, and gets the goal. And Aho, before that, Aho had an opportunity to empty net and blew it, just missed it. There was a lot of goals that there was a couple of times that I thought we had scored and it just wasn't. It actually got blocked and then one went wide. Chatfield had a couple of opportunities. I think he shot once and he shot a couple of times. One of them went way wide and then the other one just went right across the crease or something like that. I know, buddy, you got to go outside. But it was just a great game. And then the third period, they just ran it up. And then Natchez got hit. And, oh, crap. Let's see here. Let me go back. It'll take a minute for okay, here we go. So the penalties were as follows. Let's view all of them. I said view all of them. Okay. Meyer. Yeah, Meyer. He had a Meyer for tripping.
That was in
the second period. Jack Hughes for hooking. And then Robinson for an illegal check to the head. That's whenever he just went across the dude's noggin, I think, with his stick. And then Jacob Slavin had an interference. And then Meyer again had a misconduct 10 minute. That was for it was a skirmish. It was a 10-minute misconduct anyway. He had a penalty and then he had another one on top of that. And then they had another one, Kokanyemi for roughing. And that was when Natchez got the knee and went to the ground, went to the ice. Luckily, he wasn't hurt, and he come back. And then Hola with a 2-minute minor roughing, and then Orlov with a minor roughing. And that was when they had that little skirmish there. And then at the end of the game, Orlov got hit with a shoulder, and I was sitting at the opposite end. We were sitting dead behind the goal on the third level up, and we were looking down, and you could see all the way down, but it was kind of hard to tell what was going on down at the end. And I looked up at the screen, and Orlov had gotten hit, and it looked like he took an intentional shoulder to the head, and his nose, he skates off, and he goes over. And there was a little bit of a skirmish there, and they got him kind of broke up. Orlov goes over, grabs the towel, and wipes his nose. And I later learned he had a broken nose out of that deal. And he comes back on, and I think it was Hula. Yeah, Hula comes across, and Orlov's still out there. He's like wiping his nose, getting the blood cleared up, and he skates around. He comes back, and he gets the towel again, wipes his nose, throws it back, and he skates around. About that time, Hula comes across, and he just bam, and just levels him. and just puts him on his ass. And I think he got a couple of good punches in. I got that on video too, by the way. I got it on my phone on video. Yeah, it was awesome. And and then that was pretty much game over, 5-2. Or yeah, 5-2. And what a game. I mean, that physicality that we saw in the game last Saturday night is something that they need to do from that game to the end of the season. Bar none, they need to be physical. And that was something that you and I've brought up several times before. And just recently, Adam Gold brought it up. And and in the end of the season, maybe possibility maybe trading off a couple of guys for some bigger bodies that's a little bit physical, that's not scared to drop the gloves every now and again. Bring that physicality to the team, and that'll be and you and I, we talked about it, and I think that's going to be the link between going out of the playoffs in the second round and going to the conference championship and possibly even to the Stanley Cup finals. and is that link there? Plus getting a goalie that's true NHL goalie. But yeah, it was a fun game. It was a fun game to watch, and got a win on my birthday. So, well, day before my birthday, but for my birthday present. So,
all right, I got some, and I don't want to get too deep into it because we're about 5 games too early to get into this, but we are about 5 games from the halfway point of the regular season.
Yeah.
Martin Necas is still our point leader at 44, followed by Sebastian Aho and Shane Gostafir at 27, and then Svechnikov at 26, Roslovic 24, Jarvis 24, Eric Robinson 19, Martinook 17, Dmitry Orlov 17, and Kotkaniemi 16, rounding out your top 10 as far as the point leaders for the Carolina Hurricanes. The 2 things I want to highlight here, and I'm not going to get too deep into this. We'll talk more about it in 5 games, but I want to highlight the fact that Dmitry Orlov this year is plus 17.
Yeah.
When he's
lighting it up, dude.
He plays with Chatfield.
Yeah.
Chatfield is plus 13.
Yeah.
So those 2
man,
a lot of goals this year.
Yeah.
When they're on the ice.
And that doesn't always come from scoring goals and assists. That comes from being physical on the ice. And Chatfield, I'm telling you, last year I said he was going to double his points from his goals and from the season before. He did, and then this season I'm still saying he's going to do better than he did last season. Points, goal, assist, and goals wise. I still feel like he can do it, and he will do it. But I think now he's turning that curve where he's playing more defensive end than anything now. Even though he's scoring points, he's scoring goals, but he's got that defense mind in, and he's going after it. What's going on, Jeff? Thanks for joining.
What's going on, Jeff?
He's playing some good defense as he always has, but he's turned it up, and you can see that you look at how he plays, and I know I'm probably yelling, but I feel like I have to because my voice. But he's really turned it up this season. Since last season, he's turned it up even more. And you look at his style of play; he's getting a little bit more physical. I like that. I like that a lot. I like seeing our defensemen being physical and getting in there. And he broke up quite a few plays Saturday night. Yeah. And in every game, he doesn't leave anything. He leaves nothing to spare on the ice when he's out there. He just goes after it, and it shows. And he's gone after everything he's earned in his career, really, and it shows. I mean, it does. And Orlov, he's really He's played that same line since he's been here with Chatfield. And this season, last season he didn't really do that well. I mean, he did okay, but he didn't live up to the potential. And this year he's really cranked it up playing with Chatfield on that line. And I think he and Chatfield really, really complement each other on that line there, on that defensive line. And they play really well together. But yeah, I mean, and also congratulations to
Rod Brindamore.
Man, Rod Brindamore for 300 wins.
488
That was
games.
Saw some history being made. Out of 488 games, he's won 300 of those.
Impressive, man.
That's freaking impressive, man.
Elite.
Yeah. And he did it faster than any other coach in NHL.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very much so. He is an elite coach.
3 other players that I want to highlight. Shane Gostafir, one of our newcomers. He is third in points on the team thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Roslovic has more goals than anybody else on the team. You know what? If you saw that coming, write us a letter, drop us a line. I didn't see that coming.
No.
Kyle didn't see that coming.
Heck no.
I don't think anybody in Canes land saw that coming, or Caniac Nation. I don't think anybody saw that.
No.
And then the other player who's in the top 10, who's impressive, is Eric Robinson, kind of sneaky creeping up on people.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to discount the other newcomers that we've had, but those 3 have really helped with some of the production woes and shortcomings of some of the other players. Now,
and Jackson Blake, man, he's got 12 points, 8 goals, and 4 assists.
He's a good rookie, man.
And to be playing the way he's playing, he's just playing off the charts, man. For a rookie, he's doing excellent.
Dude,
I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm just saying, they'll make room for him on the roster next season. He's earned his spot this season.
I think
I'm going to say that right now.
Going to be around.
Yeah.
So that brings me to one other point. There are currently, I believe, in the Canes organization, and Kyle and I, we were talking about this earlier by phone. I think there's 3 or 4 players currently in the AHL who in the next 3 years will be either on an NHL team or playing for the Canes.
Yeah.
Bradley Nadeau, Felix Unger-Sorum, then the gentleman Alexander Nikishin out of the KHL, and there was another fellow. Gosh knows, I can't think of his name off the top of it. But anyway, those guys primarily aren't far from NHL level. Yeah. Probably the thing is a couple of them need to gain some weight and some strength, like strength training. But as far as their skills, and if any of you who watched the prospect showcase this year, there's a lot to be impressed with our prospects.
I'll be right back.
A lot to be impressed with. One of the main things I think that has been a bugaboo for this team has been goaltending. And we leaned heavily on Spencer Martin, and that didn't go well for us. And Anderson getting hurt, and then we lean in on Kochetkov. And Kochetkov's been good, but he's not been great. And now we've got Toskarski, and we're going to see how he does. And
he's done pretty well. He's 2-1.
We're still not even to the halfway point of the season, guys. Temper the things you might think. And Kyle and I bounce things off each other all the time through text, by phone. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I never saw this coming from Roslovic. Gostafir, we knew he could play. We knew he kind of knew the system because he played like a half a season with us previously. I thought we'd be okay with him, but I mean, I didn't see Eric Robinson being as good as he's been.
But here's something else, and this is just Brent Burns is 12 points. He's got 9 assists and 3 goals. Jalen Chatfield is right there with him on goals, 3 goals and 6 assists. So he's doing pretty decent. He's a little bit Burns has turned it up a little bit, and Jalen just come right out of the gate from the very get-go of the season
Man,
and just boom, boom.
Chatfield and Orloff is a pair who played
And to think
phenomenal.
I was worried about losing Turbo, Pesci. These guys, yeah, and these new guys have stepped in, and made a difference.
Piotr
That
feeling a bit more this year.
has felt a bit more pressure this year. Yeah, and you're right, Jeff. You know how I am. I'm the one that's like kind of the negative Neil type guy, and in way of being doubtful of we're going to suck this year. We got rid of these players and we got these ones in, and then but this season at the beginning of the season, I was the one saying, "Oh, wait just a minute. These guys look better on paper than what we got rid of." And here's Josh. He's sitting there like, "Well, I don't know, man. I'm just going to be cautiously optimistic." And da 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 da. And they've really showed up, and they've actually, for the first quarter of the season, they really carried the team.
Yeah.
All the new guys, they really carried the team. And Sean Walker, 2 goals, 6 assists. William Carrier, 5 assists, 4 goals. And look, Jacob Slavin, he only has 1 goal and 9 assists. He hasn't even turned on yet.
No.
Yeah.
And they're starting to gel.
Yeah, they are. They are. And then you see Jackson Blake, true rookie, comes in, gets a starting position right out of the gate from the beginning after the preseason, and he has just really turned the Jets on, man. I think he'll probably get Rookie of the Year for the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, for real.
For the team, I would think so.
And speaking of which, Sandra, you know what I almost did? I almost did something. I've got a marker in the car, and I almost stopped at the dollar store on the way to the stadium and made a sign that said, "Hey, Chatfield, stop. Your Aunt Sandra said sign my shirt." I almost made that sign. I told Ellie on the way to the stadium, I said, "We need to stop and get a great big piece of poster board and write this on there." Yeah, if he'd have seen that, he'd have probably laughed and drove off anyway. But who knows? It was funny. It was a thought, and I should have done it. But anyway, I got a kick out of it. She did too. But anyway,
that is.
But you look at well, let's see. Let me pull up something here.
That reminded me of the sign, "Not today, Satan."
Yeah, there was a woman. I don't know if it was on TV or not, but a woman held a sign up and it said "Not today, Satan." And I think it may have been. You should have. Next game we go to, I'm going to make a sign, and we're going to stand out there. And if Chatfield drives by, I'm going to hold that sign out, and I'm going to put it right out there. If I have to step out in the street a little bit, I'm going to put that sign out there as he drives by, and I'm going to go like this all the way by. So hopefully it'll stop. But anyway, but yeah, it was funny. Me and Ellie joked about it, and probably should have done it, but who knows. But anyway, my voice is killing me. I don't care. I really don't. Let's see if I can do it this way. I was looking at. I wanted to go further back, but it's going to take a long time to do that, and I'm not going to do it right now. But anyway, last season and this year, I compared last season and this season, and you look at how Carolina has played in the month of December. Remember back last December, we had like a 2-game loss, and then we won a game, and then we had like a 2-game loss, and then we won a game, and then we had another loss, and then we got another win, and then we went on a 4-game lose streak. And then we turned around and won a couple of games, lost 2, won a game, lost a game, and that was the way December ended for us. We finally won like a couple of games at the end of December last season. Now, this season, you turn around, and we've actually won more games in this month compared to last season this month.
Yeah.
But we played more games last season in the month of December. Not many more, but a few more.
Well,
But
the
generally speaking, compared to the games that we've played this season, the wins and losses pretty much we got a few more wins this season than we did last season, month of July of December. Sorry, but relatively speaking, the last couple of seasons, last season, this season, December hasn't been our friend. And then you look at the next season after that, and it starts picking up, and we start doing better toward the end of the season. And so hopefully that'll turn true, and maybe after the first of the year, we'll start picking up some wins, and then come mid-season, and we'll start increasing from there, depending on what we do. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we don't make many changes in the mid-season. I hope we don't. And I hope that at the end of the season, this season, we're able to hold on to the majority of the players that we have, because I think we really got a good squad. It's just a matter of, tweaking some things here and there. And I think we'll have a pretty decent squad. Maybe get rid of a couple of players for some bigger bodies, because I really think that's what we need, is like two players that are big, Jordan Stahl size, that aren't scared to get physical, drop the gloves every now and again. I'm not saying drop the gloves like every game Matt Rampy style, but I'm saying, you have somebody run over Aho, Jarvis, or Natchez, or Jackson Blake, drop gloves on them and go.
yeah.
I mean, and you have two players like that on the team. You've changed the style of play to be a more physical, and you have another player in Chatfield and even Jacob Slavin, who's not scared to put their body on the line and get between the puck and the goal and to go after the puck. Jalen's sure not scared to go after the puck. He don't care if somebody's coming at him full blast. He's going to get that puck and put it back out there, regardless if he gets hit or not. And he can deliver a good hard hit. And we need more play like that. And that's what's going to get us to the finals in the future. I mean,
I believe that there's a lot of good hockey yet to be played. So this is the part where I come in and tell everybody what they don't want to hear. In the last 10 games, we are only 6-8. Yikes.
yeah.
That hot start's really what got us where we are. Let's keep in mind, though, we're still third in the division in the Metropolitan. We're only, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can pull it up real quick, so many points behind our counterpart. So we have 45 points. Washington has 50, 5 points behind them. New Jersey has 51, so we're 6 points back of them in the Metro. We are in good shape right now. So 6 points behind us is Pittsburgh.
All right, get down.
Columbus has 36 points. Then you've got Philadelphia with 36 points. The Island 35.
Come on, let me let you.
Rangers with only 33 points. Boy, have they fallen on hard times. Man, New York Rangers, boy, I tell you, them falling on, it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of fellas.
It could.
New York Rangers, boy.
I was sitting there, you and we talked about this earlier, and I've even talked to Ellie about it. I said, I think it's almost like Chris Drury is sabotaging the team. But, they wanted to keep it more to Sturkin.
Yep.
And they had to make some moves to keep him. Excuse me. Now, with that said, they're making some more moves. And I think they're on the verge of either A, they're going to fall flat at their face, or B, he's going to be one of the biggest geniuses in the NHL and rebuilding the team and bringing some more players in there that's really good.
Yeah.
Either way, I hope it's for the latter, the first of the two, the earlier of the two.
Yeah.
That they just fall flat at their face. Couldn't happen to a greater team of guys.
So the underlying theme here is be good, and the other underlying theme is be good but don't get injured, but be physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is the team, we need some of our traditional goal scorers to step up, and some of the players who've been kind of quiet to step up. I mean, if we get 3 or 4 guys hitting on all cylinders, man, we're gonna be hard out. I don't care what the game is, who we're playing. Right now, there's only 2 clear-cut teams in the NHL who I believe are clear-cut, straight-up leaders.
Yeah.
And the Florida Panthers, put it on us. You say whatever you want, and I know that right now the Maple Leafs are currently tied with them in the division on the other side of the East in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You don't think the Winnipeg Jets are good? Yikes.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this, okay? And somebody made a comment. I can't remember who it was right off. Somebody made a comment in the group about how bad we were playing this, and this. True. Recently playing, we haven't been as consistent. With that said, before this bad streak that we've been on the past, 8-10 games?
14.
The past 14 games has been up and down, a mixed bag. But you look at the losses that we've taken in those 14 games, okay? Before those few games there, that the games that we won, the games that we lost, I'll say, the games that we lost, you look at before we went on this little roller coaster ride we're on, we were doing better at that point in this season than we did last season. Now, with that being said, since we've been on that roller coaster ride and we took that little bit of a up and down,
Adversity.
we're now tied 3rd in the division, 5th in the conference, 9th overall. So we're doing a one better than we were last season overall. But the other 2 we're doing as good as we were last season, which doesn't show in the playing that we've done. We've played good, and that's that last game, not the game we won, the game that we lost, the 27th. The 27th.
Talking about
game,
the other New Jersey game?
Yeah, the December 27th game.
That was 4-2, wasn't it?
Carolina really didn't play that bad.
It wasn't as bad as everybody thought.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And, if you look at the stat, if you look at the score, we got it handed to us. But if you look at the play on the ice, we really didn't play that bad. Granted, Kochetkov allowed a couple of goals, but the other 2 was defensive, and he just didn't see the puck coming to him, I don't think. But there was 2 that it was his fault. But as far as the other guys play, they really didn't play that bad. And I get sometimes, and it gets frustrating to hear him say it, but when we lose a game, he's like, well, I like the way we played. Well, what are you talking about? But go back and look at that game that we lost against New Jersey, that first game, the 27th. Go back to that game and look at it again, and you'll see we really didn't play that bad. The defense really wasn't that bad, and we were putting up shots on goal. We just could not get it in. Could not get it in. And then 24 hours later, we come back and we hand our ass to them. There you go.
There's only 4 losses that bother me that we have. Being shut out by Ottawa bothered me.
Yeah.
and then losing in shootouts to Columbus, that
Yeah.
that bothered me. And then the loss to the Kraken,
Yeah.
that bothered me. You know, I knew with the stretch that we had with Spencer Martin right there at the end of November, I knew that they were so close to the games were so close together. We weren't going to win all those games. And I don't expect us to win every game. That would be insanely unrealistic on any part to think, oh, we're just going to put the puck out there on the ice and we're just going to win. That ain't how it works. Players get tired. Season takes its toll. It's the way it works. Those were the ones that bothered me the most.
Yeah.
And the Islanders lost at the beginning of December too. That was the other one.
Yeah.
Those were the ones that bothered me the much. The effort, when you see the efforts there and we lose, it's okay.
It's a little bit easier to take when you see the effort there, like in the 27th game, the D27.
You were shooting the puck. It just wasn't going in.
D27, they were doing good. They were shooting the puck. They were getting it there. They just could not get it in the goal. He was just outplaying them at the goal. And I noticed one thing Saturday night. There was some shots, and you really don't see it on TV like you do when you're at the game. But whenever those guys are coming at him and they're putting that puck at him and it's on the ice coming at him, I saw that goal and he just looked right at the puck coming right at him. And they're tracking that thing when it's on the ice and they're shooting it and it's gliding across the ice. He's tracking that all the way. He sees that all the way. When you get it in the air and you get some bodies between you and you get that thing in the air, it's a little bit harder to track. And I saw that in that game the other night. And I was like, man, and every single one, I'd look at Ellie, I'd be like, he tracked that all the way. You could see him. He would turn and he'd look at that puck all the way to him.
Yeah.
And, that's where, you and I, we preached that last season before last.
Yeah.
Get that puck off the ice when you shoot it. And that's why. And I looked at that and I was like, well, wow. Here's something for you.
Go ahead.
Without looking at stats,
I'm not.
who's the number one goal producer this season so far?
It's Roslovic.
Yep. Roslovic. Then
It's
Martin.
Roslovic. Roslovic
16 goals.
16.
Martin Natchez has 14.
Yep.
And then Sebastian Aho has 12 and Shezhnikov has 12.
Yep.
Okay. Now, let's look at
And for anybody who's asking, I do not have the stats pulled up. This is the schedule on ESPN.
Jarvis has 9 goals, so he's yet to crank up. Now, going forward, and I know Shane got the spares out a little bit more than day to day, probably be out for a few games, probably a couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
Hey, when he comes back, you better take warning.
Yeah. I think, with Roslovic, and these are the ones that I'm looking at that's probably going to start cranking up. Ross got the spare. Seth Jarvis. I think Eric Robinson's got some to go. Jordan Martinook. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, I think he's gonna start coming around.
Breaks out.
He's putting shots on goal.
We need him.
I really think that he's going to turn around. He's going to go.
He's our second line.
For
We need him producing.
Yeah, something's going to turn around for him. I think William Carrier.
Yeah.
Jack Drury, when he comes back, I think you're going to see him turn on fire.
We can get more into the midseason stuff though in about 5-6 games, but I just kind of touch on it and let people know where we are. That was the main thing I was getting at. And Kochekov, I believe, has been good. I don't believe he's been like great.
No,
he's good though. He's not been great, and it's time for him to step. He wants to take this, and we want to let go of Anderson in the offseason, and we want to pick up another true NHL backup goalie. he's got to pick it up.
Yeah.
He's got to say, this is mine. I want it. Now, does that mean he's going to play every game of the regular season next year? No. That ain't the way Rod works.
No.
If he plays 45 to 50, that's a lot.
Yeah. If you look
And
at it, yeah.
that's regular season games, guys. That's not playoffs.
Yeah. If you look at it where we're at right now, as far as goalie situation goes, they're leaning on Kachetkov a lot more than probably what they would if we had another goalie that was NHL quality instead of AHL quality. Now, I'm not knocking Tokarski.
No.
I'm not knocking Spencer Martin. Not at all. Either one of them. And I've said this a million times since it happened. Spencer Martin was just in a bad spot at a bad time.
They had to lean on him and
leaned on
nobody
him.
else to go to.
We didn't have anybody else. And
In a bad spot.
I feel like that if it was a different situation and Kachetkov hadn't got hurt, he'd still be backup goalie right now. But
maybe
it didn't happen. And he did get in the funk.
Well,
and
a lot of stretch of games, though.
Really?
Right? They were injured. I mean, we were playing every other night.
Yeah.
In the backs.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot to ask any one person to do that.
Yeah.
These guys are human. While they're superhuman in their goal saving abilities, they're still human.
Yeah.
But I'm quietly optimistic that we're going to pick this thing back up. And Netchus has cooled off. Anybody who thought he was on pace for a 140-point season, you're insane. I don't think he was going to score 140 points in the season. Now, Roslovic has more goals than he's ever scored in his career in a season, and we're not even at the halfway point. So he is definitely meshed very well with our guys, and obviously Gostafir and Robinson. So, I mean, Sean Walker has played well too. I'm not taking anything away from the other guys that we brought in. Blake, for a rookie, has played really, really well. Fost has been out. We needed another winger. He's a line winger. He's played pretty well.
Really come in and step.
We've got some other players, I think, that are going to pick it up. But
Andy got a goal this past game.
I just want to throw this out there. The upcoming schedule for the next 6 games, and I'm going to throw this out there, and then I'll get off my soapbox. We go at Columbus tomorrow.
Yep.
On the 2nd, we play at Florida. That's going to be a gauge for me. The Panthers pretty much took it to us. Now, granted, we had Spencer Martin in goal, but they took it to us. So I'm kind of – and Tkachuk's had our number. I don't know about that guy, but for Florida, he's had our number. For some freaking reason. Then we got Minnesota on the 4th. That's a home game. Then we have another home game on the 5th against the Penguins. Mm-hmm. Then on the 7th, we have an away game at the Lightning. And then we come back on the 9th of January and play a home game against the Maple Leafs. Also, one other side note for any of you that have tickets, I'm going to the game on the 12th, and I'll also be at the Minnesota game on the 4th. I will be at the pregame festivities. We have bought tickets for the ceremony before they let the fans in, where they have kind of a Q&A panel, and you can walk up and talk to Eric Stahl. You can talk to Justin Williams. You can talk to Cam Ward. They told me that it was frowned upon that autographs may not be available. We'll just see about that.
Well, I mean, you got after game too.
So they said that we would be allowed to mingle with them.
Right.
So I'm going to have a Sharpie. Oops.
Yeah. I mean, so
can you blame a guy for trying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2024. We got 2 more years before the 20th anniversary of the Stanley Cup, in which case they're going to do something that year, obviously. And I'm looking way out here and I'm speculating. I don't know any inside info, but in 2 years will be the 20th anniversary. And if you don't think they're going to do something for the 20th anniversary of winning the cup, like bringing that team back together, you better check your brain.
Dude, how about this? What if we won the Stanley Cup on the 20th anniversary?
That would be like amazing. That would be amazing. It's winning the cup. It isn't just about talent; it's about luck too. You got to have the right draw.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be sick.
it would
That would
be.
blow my friggin' ever loving mind.
It would
I would
be.
call out of work to go to Raleigh to the Stanley Cup championship parade. Just saying, my ass is going that this.
Dude, I'd have to mortgage my house.
Yeah.
I'd have to mortgage the house to a fourth.
Really. But yeah, as you said, Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow night.
Yep.
And then we don't have another game until the 2nd.
It's away. It's at Florida.
Yeah. And we're traveling.
And
then we have Minnesota, like you said.
game on the 4th. I have tickets for that, so I'll be there at that game.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The 4th and the 12th for sure.
We have 8 home games in January. 8 home games. So that's 8 opportunities. And now instead of 3 games that we have in pocket, we have 4. We have 4 games in pocket now. But we don't want to give those 3 or 4 games up. We want to add to it, obviously. But
yeah,
our home games consist of Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Vancouver, Anaheim,
Vegas,
Columbus again, and then Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, Minnesota probably should win that game.
Vegas,
Pittsburgh, they got some big guys on their team.
Well, not only that, they're first in their division.
Yeah. I mean, we should probably win that game at home with a little luck. With a little luck. I'm not saying it's 100%, but a little luck. Oh, and here's something that I wanted to share with you too. And I told you this earlier when we talked on the phone.
Yeah.
So when we were there and Hannah comes up, she comes in, she sits down. As she's sitting down, I was like, yeah. I said, so y'all got to get ready for the show now and get right for it, huh? She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it'll be a good one. And I said, well, what do you think about the game tonight? I said, I sure hope we win. She's like, yeah, we're going to win. I was like, what? How do you know?
She got that confidence.
Yeah. And we did win. I mean, I was like, yeah. But, the way they've been playing, it's win 1, lose 1, lose 2, win 1. So the odds were in our favor to win that one. So, give it to her. She knew what she was talking about. But anyway, we got Columbus tomorrow night, and then we got Columbus again on the 23rd of January.
We need to win that.
Anaheim probably should win that one. Vancouver, I hope we win that one.
Well, I Vancouver, the Canucks, Winnipeg. We play them right at the beginning of February, if I'm not mistaken. The Winnipeg game, the Vegas game, and I really, 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 really want to beat Toronto.
Yeah, Winnipeg is the second game of February.
We played them in February. I didn't know what the date was.
Yeah, February 4th. And then we travel to Minnesota and play them again. And then we have Utah come in and play. We play Utah at home after that on the 8th. That's on a Saturday.
Hmm.
And then on the 27th, on that Thursday, we have Buffalo. Those are our 3 home games. So we have 3 home games and 4 away games in February. And then February's pretty light month this year. And then March really cranks up. We have 1, 2, three, four, 5 away games. And then we have 2 games at home. We have Edmonton and Calgary. And then we travel to Detroit to play Detroit. Then we have a 4-game homestand.
Yeah.
And then we travel to Philly, then San Jose, then LA, then Anaheim. Then we come home for a 1, 2, 3, 4-game, another 4-game homestand that ends in Washington and begins with Nashville, Montreal, and New York Islanders. And then it ends with, as I said, Washington. But, dude, you know, got a heavy schedule here and there, but, you know, February is a light schedule, and January is a heavy schedule. And really, this month wasn't really a heavy schedule, but January is going to be a heavy schedule, and March is going to be a heavy schedule. So they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
But
It's a long season. We're not quite halfway through it, and we'll put together some notes for the halfway segment.
Yeah.
And what's going on. I would love if William Burns, if you're watching, would keep us up to date on the Wolves and going on there, because it has been a phenomenal turnaround from last to third, 1 point out of second.
Yeah.
And a point.
William's not on. He'll probably watch, but he's not on. He's with, I think, some cousins of his and stuff visiting. So,
Family. Yeah.
So he's with them. But yeah, he'll definitely keep us in the loop there.
I said, man, you can be our reporter for the Wolves.
Our Chicago Wolf field reporter. Yeah. Breaking news. Chicago Wolves.
But that's all I got for tonight.
That's all. I just wanted to throw those few stats out there. But yeah, those few players that we mentioned there at the end that I mentioned, if they can turn it up in the next few games, then we should end up okay. And then I think we will be.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got, man.
That's all I got.
It's an hour of fun.
Yay.
Yep.
Whoopee.
That was almost as fun as the game.
Man, you had all.
Ellie stand there like, no, it wasn't.
The game.
It
was fun. Going to the game.
I think she does all this just, for me. Yeah.
Well, she puts up with you, so that says a lot.
That says a whole lot.
You know what? It's the good luck blanket.
It is. You know what? And she took the blanket to the game. Speaking of it, and I meant to mention this earlier. Yeah, she told me that just a minute ago. She says, yeah, I took the blanket. That was my good luck blanket. And we won the game.
Oh, man.
She took it to the stadium, wrapped up with it.
Superstition coming out.
Yeah, it is. And look, here's another thing.
Oh, no.
The 2 games that we went to in the playoffs last season,
Yeah.
the 2 games that we went to, we won those games. And then Saturday night, we won again. So we're 3 for 3.
I've been 4 games we've won and games that we've lost. So I can say that.
Yeah. We're perfect. We're undefeated when we go to the games.
Well, maybe you need to pick up some more tickets.
Now, I will say this. Yeah, exactly. But I will say this.
It's so expensive.
The other night, I left in the first period, in the second period. I was coming back up, and we scored before I got back up there. And then I went back out. I went to get some popcorn. The second interim, whenever we scored that other goal, our second goal, I was out getting popcorn on the way back from the intermission show. I was in line getting popcorn. I hear it. Boom.
Did you see the new Zamboni?
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
What's going on, buddy?
No, I didn't get the Zamboni. I'm next game we go to, I'm definitely getting the Zamboni.
That Zamboni looks pretty rad.
is pretty cool. I saw people with them. They would look.
I got one from last year, the white one that they did last year. This year's black with red.
Yeah.
Pretty rad.
The stadium series style.
It looks.
Yeah. Hey, if we go to another game this year, I'm gonna get one.
Just remember
because
what we have at Lenovo Center are not Zambonis. They are Olympia.
Yeah. Well,
They make a point to say that. Like, they're not Zambonis.
screw you. They're all Zambonis.
Well, when I got to go under the arena and I was down there and I had the pictures taken, remember for the season ticket thing at the very beginning of the year,
Right.
I said, "Oh, the Zambonis," and they said they're Olympias. And I was like, "Forgive me,
Excuse me.
my God, we do the ice with it. Heaven help us."
Yeah. Good Lord.
Exactly. But
Failure.
yeah, I'm out of
But,
stats and everything.
But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Zamboni popcorn holder. You go in and get it like right at the very beginning of the game, or before you go sit down, and you can take it to. I guess you can take it to any one of the popcorn vendors and get a free refill of popcorn each time.
Sounds pretty rad.
Yeah. I was like, dang, I should have, if I'd have thought about it, I'd have got one when we first walked in. But then I was like, well, yeah, but we're
It's
probably,
expensive for plastic. It's like $30 some.
yes, $30. But you get all the popcorn you can stand. So
It's a lot of popcorn.
yeah. But
So-
then you get to bring it home and
Well, I got mine upstairs. I didn't even put popcorn in mine. I didn't want to get it all greasy and everything. I wanted to keep it for display.
yeah.
But like anything else, you never.
No. Get that autograph too, hey.
Man, I get anything autographed, they'll sign. If they're willing to sign it, I might just be willing to get it signed.
Yeah, right.
But I can get them to sign. If Chatfield will stop for us.
Yeah. If Sander could get Chatfield to stop for us.
Well,
But then again, if I make that sign, she said I should have. If I make that sign, I might have a better chance of getting him to stop. At least to sign one autograph.
I think that it's predetermined. Like after the game, they kind of say, "Okay, who's stopping?"
I don't know. That's what Ellie was talking about too on the way home from the game. She's like, "Do you think that they might take turns? Like, who's stopping tonight?"
Well, I've heard that Svechnikov, it's very rare he'll stop.
Yeah.
Netchus will come out every once in a while. There's players that are rarer to stop than others.
Yeah.
And
I got that from the other night, seeing that.
well, I've been after the game now a few times and gotten stuff signed. So Burns is pretty regular. Slavin's been regular. Jackson Blake's been regular.
Yeah.
Like there's certain players that have just been, they tend to stop. And then there's players who don't stop. Like I've never seen Chekhov stop.
Yeah. I need to get a Jacob Slavin card and a Jackson Blake card, rookie card, and have them autographed. That'd be cool.
That would be rad. That would be rad.
I'd really love to. I really want to get Chatfield's autograph, point blank, and not just to get his autograph, but I want to meet him and just have some time with him to talk to him and be like, dude, you're freaking awesome, man.
You need to do an interview
Yeah, I know.
for the show.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna shoot an email and see if that email is legit, and see if somebody gets back to me.
Let me know.
I will.
I'll be.
I also, for everybody who may be watching or who's not watching now, but maybe later, I did email somebody for sponsorship. Haven't heard back from them yet. They said that they would return, but it's also the holidays, and I get it. So I'm going to shoot them another email, and it is kind of an apparel company. Yes, Stormy, the hog, the ice hog. You know what they should do is paint one of those Zambonis up to look like Stormy.
If they weren't doing them for sponsorships, I think they would.
Well,
they
they could still do that and just put the sponsors on the side of, like, you know.
because they basically let the like the Pepsi one. Pepsi's got the rights to that for all the home games, and then the other one, it's like certain games, it's this one, that certain games, it's that one, it's this advertisement.
Yeah.
Like sold in blocks.
Yeah. But that would be pretty cool.
Well,
To make it look like it's on all fours, and
I want to ride on one.
I do too.
And
You know what I'd love to do? I would love to get up with the right person and talk to them and get an opportunity to go on the ice during warm-ups in the goal.
ooh, liability.
No, I'd sign a waiver. I would totally sign a waiver to do that.
You know the guy to call.
And I do. I have.
You can get hold of him. I don't know how Rod's going to like that.
I have a connection. No, I mean, like during warm-ups, like just for a few hits, you know.
I just
just
sit on the bench and watch while they warm up and have them sign.
Let them fire the hell out of that puck at me, man. Just pow, because you know they would. You know they would.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Man, look, you're wearing the mask. You're wearing the whole thing. How bad is it gonna hurt for real?
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. That's all I'm saying. It's going to hurt.
I don't care. I don't give a crap.
You're going to be bruised
Dude,
up one side.
I'd go to work. I'd be so damn sore, but I'd go to work next day and say, "Hey, look at TV." I'd tell everybody at work, "Watch the game tonight. I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna be on ice."
They don't usually put the warm-ups on TV,
Hey,
though.
Eric, I still got one game of eligibility.
They'd sign you to a one-day contract.
I'd do it voluntarily, dude. They wouldn't. I would. And then, look, I would play. I told a guy at work today, I was like, I said, I'd get out there for one game. I'd volunteer to do it. And I'd do so damn good during that game. At the end of the game, they'd be raising my damn jersey to the top of the rafters with everybody else's.
I don't know about that.
I don't either. I'm making
A guy can dream.
Yeah. I can dream. But anyway, that's all I got, man. That's a little bit of comedy there at the end of the show. And my voice is, I got to go suck on some lemon or something. I had to make some herbal tea and suck that down. So that's all I got. I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning so I can go to work till 10:30 and out.
It's not bad.
And then I work, let's see, tomorrow's Tuesday. I work off Wednesday, work Thursday, off Friday.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Let's go, Canes!